MAGA voted Trump in no small part, according to them, to stick it to the elites who have been effing them over. And they want someone who's finally gonna challenge those elites. But unfortunately, they sent a billionaire in to do it, and that was never gonna happen. See, we're now months in, and the poor are getting hit with new tariffs, and soon their healthcare will be taken away. But the rich are in a great spot, as they've always been. The money they've been making over the last 12 months, I almost don't believe the reporting, but we have to give you these numbers and show you what it looks like, the state of the haves and the have-nots. And I want you to bear all this in mind. This is before the new enhanced tax cuts. The top 10 wealthiest billionaires in the US collectively became $1 billion richer every day last year. A billion, a billion, a billion, a billion. You go away for a weekend, they come back 2 billion richer right there. It is good to have passive income, I guess. That includes obviously many allies of Donald Trump like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. Their collective wealth grew $365 billion over the last 12 months. So not just like a billion a day, suspiciously like a billion a day, actually. And again, we have been told America will never reach a golden age again until we finally get all the way off the back of the rich. Stop taxing them and regulating them. They can't get anything done with the burden of government just pressing down on their shoulders. They were making $1 billion a day already. And now we're gonna hand over trillions to them as we hamstring the government's remaining capacity to deliver literally anything to you or your family. And let's turn now to that bill and how it might make this even worse. Preliminary CBO analysis found that Trump's bill would increase benefits for those earning the highest through an extension of the 2017 GOP tax plan. Around 60% of the tax benefits would go to those in the top quintile, according to the Tax Policy Center. So those making $217,000 or more would make the clear majority of all of the benefits coming from that. And obviously, there's also, you have to factor in the corporate tax extension. According to Oxfam, who did this study, and this is just amazing numbers here, it would take 726,000 years for a group of 10 US workers with median earnings to make the equivalent of the billionaires in this. 726,000 years is the sort of like ridiculous time horizon that like schlocky sci-fi barely even dares to tread, because you can't even conceive of that much time. And let's jump to what could be done if taxes were a little bit more reasonable. Not reasonable, just a little bit more reasonable. If the wealth gains of the 10 richest billionaires were taxed like income from work, because again, remember, these are taxed at lower rates, it's that passive stuff, that investment stuff, they would owe a collective $135 billion in taxes. A tax of just 3% on fortunes over 1 billion would raise over 50 billion from the 10 richest billionaires alone. That would cover the entire federal rental assistance budget or a year of food assistance for 22.5 million people. For 10 people to have a small tax applied, they would still be billionaires many times over. But for a group of tens of millions, they would be able to get some help with their rent. They would be able to get access to food that they could actually afford. Their lives would be made materially better. But not only are we not moving that direction, we're actually moving in the exact opposite direction as fast as the Republicans can take us. Brett, what do you think?
The woolly mammoth went extinct 4,000 years ago. You would have to work so many woolly mammoth. It came into existence 700,000 years ago.
Before
so you would have to start working before the woolly mammoth evolved from the mastodon in order to afford the kinds of stuff that the billionaires afford. Another way to look at it is, when they ask you to donate money so you could help out with a kid that needs cleft palate surgery in some nation that you someday hope to misery tourism visit. And it's like, for 25 cents a day, you can bring a smile to this child's face. It's like that. except it's for $1 billion a day. And that child is Jeff Bezos, who owns multiple penis-shaped rockets already. And all you get is not to bring a smile to the face of a child. You get poorer and his smile gets bigger.
Yeah.
But it's not a real smile because it can't fill the gaping hole in his heart that was left by whatever girl didn't date him in 3rd grade and forced him into this weird roid rage lifestyle.
We've all been there. Not all of us have traveled there on rockets, I suppose.